second graders, Little Prairie Lions, soon to be Prairie View Panthers, third graders. My name is Mr. Wirtz. I'm the principal here at Prairie View, and I just want to take a couple minutes to answer a few questions that you might have, as well as welcome you to our new school. So as a principal, I have a job very similar to Mrs. Harris, who is your principal over at Little Prairie. I get to help out with students in a lot of different ways, getting them to maybe help them with some problem solving, whether it's with friends or schoolwork, and just really try to make sure that students are coming to school happy and ready to learn every single day. So I'm excited to have you guys join our school in the fall. One of the questions that has been coming up probably from either you or your classmates is, what will school look like? Will school be open in September? My short answer to that is yes. Like, we really want school. School will be open. We will have some kind of school for sure in September. But we're waiting for us to kind of understand a little bit more about the rules as it relates to our virus and making sure that everybody is safe when we can enter school. So we're working on some plans right now to figure out if we're gonna have all the students in at the same time, or we have to continue with some kind of virtual experience. So as soon as I know, I promise you that I'll be talking to you and your families about what school will look like. But again, when that day comes, we'll be ready to and excited to invite all of you into our buildings. So question number 2 is there going to be a lot of walking around? So this one had me kind of smile. Actually, Little Prairie, where you're at school right now, is bigger than Prairie View. So if you're used to kind of walking around the Little Prairie building, it's going to be very similar to what you have over here at Prairie View. Next question is, how is Prairie View going to be different than Little Prairie? So in some ways it's going to be the same. You'll still have reading class and math class, science and social studies. But here at Prairie View, when you come in as the third grader, you'll see kids that are a little bit older, fourth and fifth graders. You don't have many opportunities to be interacting with them or hanging out with them because the fifth graders are kind of doing their own thing. One of the things that's a little bit unique at our school, we have a school store, so we'll set up some shopping hours for you. So when you get the paws or the tickets that we hand out to kids, these are Prairie View Panther tickets. You can turn those tickets in for some items at our school store. But we'll also have Mrs. Arpin will be your art teacher. Mr. Peliquin will be your Phi Ed teacher. We'll have Smart Lab, music, all of those things. So some of the things will be very, very similar. Another question is, at Prairie View, does the lunchroom have the same seats or no? Well, we have round tables, and I'm not sure what kind of tables that you have over at Little Prairie, but the question might be, do you have to sit next to the same people every single day? And I would say no. You can sit by any of your friends, and as long as you're behaving and following the rules, you certainly can kind of sit by whoever you want to at lunchtime. And we realize that lunchtime is a really great social time for students, where you can hang out with your friends. The other thing that I was going to say too is we've got our Prairie View Panther here, and we talk to our students about the pause. And that pause really stands for practicing safety, acting responsibly, working hard, and showing respect. And then that's how, if you're doing those actions, that's how you are earning some of those pause within our building. Now let's see if there's another question here. One of the questions is also, do I get dropped off in the front of school, right? So what is the drop off if you're coming in, if your mom or dad are dropping off? So yes, by the flagpole is where you get dropped off in the morning. The start of school is the exact same time as over at Little Prairie. So we need you in the building by 7:50 in the morning. And then our end of the day is 3 o'clock. If you get picked up from your parents, same like at Little Prairie View, you'll get picked up in the big parking lot. I think that might be all of the questions. Oh, one. So one of the last questions, this is a good one too, is, well, do I have to go to school? Yes, that is a rule that you have to go to school. Just like your moms and dads, they're working. This is your job to come to our school ready to learn and become a learner for us too. So again, just want to take a couple minutes to welcome all of you. Appreciate it. We will try our best to make sure that you feel comfortable and ready to go when the school year starts. Take care and have a great summer.
Hi, second graders. I'm helping Mrs. Homily answer a question that one of you had about Prairie View. Here's the question. Are we still going to see Mrs. Trader in concerts with the music teacher from Prairie View? For sure. In fact, I am going to be your music teacher in third grade over at Prairie View. So I'll see all of you again. I'll be a familiar face, ready to give you a big smile and welcome you to the music room. The other music teacher's name is Mrs. Equi. She teaches fourth and fifth grade music, and those were the concerts that we went to see when you were in second grade. Mrs. Equi and I work really closely together, so when we have our third grade concert, she'll be helping us too with playing the piano or maybe playing her flute or helping me direct you around when we're having our rehearsals. So you will see both Mrs. Equi and I both teaching music, but I will be your third grade music teacher. Whenever we have a concert at Prairie View, the whole school comes to enjoy it together. So third graders enjoy the fourth and fifth grade concerts. Fourth graders and fifth graders will enjoy your third grade concerts. So you'll have an audience also for our practice concert. Hope this answers your question. I'm very excited to see you again next year at Prairie View.
Hi, second graders. I'm here to answer a question. And the question is, will we have the same specials teachers? And the answer to that question is yes and no. For example, you'll still see me, Mrs. Arpin, for art, and you will still see Mrs. Trader for music. And some of you already know Miss Hymos from the library. Well, at Prairie View, all of the third graders will see Miss Hymos when you visit the library. For gym class, Fayed, you're going to have a new teacher, and his name is Mr. Peliquin. And for Smart Lab, you're going to have a new teacher, and his name is Mr. Church. And for guidance, you're going to have a new teacher, and her name is Miss Moss. I hope this helps, and I'm so happy that I get to work with you again over at Prairie View. Bye.
Hey, future Prairie View students. This is Mr. Peliquin, your friendly Fayed teacher. The question has come up, is there going to be a roller skating unit at Prairie View? And the answer is yes. We plan to have a roller skating unit. Usually we do our roller skating unit right after spring break. So next year, sometime in April, we plan to have a roller skating unit. Hopefully everyone's having a good experience with the virtual learning, and hopefully in the fall we'll be back to normal classroom teaching. So have a great summer, and we'll see you soon.
Third graders, my name is Mr. Church, and I teach STEAM in the Smart Lab at Prairie View. I'm really excited for next year. I've got a number of projects lined up for you, many of which will build on what you've learned in the past in your Smart Lab classes. We'll experience bridge building using Rockenbach blocks. We'll work on robotics and coding Ozobots. Use code.org to continue to learn computer programming and how programs are built. We'll use Tinkercad to learn 3D design and printing. We'll also use Pixie to learn how to storytell. So I hope you're excited for Smart Lab as much as I am. Take care, enjoy your summer, and I look forward to seeing you in September. Be kind.
Incoming third graders. I'm Mrs. Kramer. I teach at Prairie View. I'm the first door on the left, and I have a couple of questions that I'm going to answer for you. The first one says, how long is recess? Recess is 30 minutes long. My second question is asking, are we going to be alone at recess or with another grade level? We will be alone at recess. And my last question says, do we have a 30-minute recess? Yes, we do. Hi, third graders.
And this is the playground you will be playing on.
My turn. Hi, third graders. I'm Mr. Fetch. I teach third grade down on the left past Mrs. Kramer's room. I have a few questions here that I need to answer. The first one, do we have snack every day? Yes, we do have snack every morning around 9 o'clock in the morning. Every class's times might be a little different. The second question is, what time is lunch every day? We have lunch at 11 o'clock every day in the cafeteria, and it's only third graders in there at that time.
I forgot, we have recess at 10:30.
And I have one more question on here. Let's see, what color am I green? Oh, how will I know to get off the bus when I get to Prairie View? So when the buses come into the parking lot here at Prairie View, the buses stop right here. You get off the bus and enter door 9 at Prairie View. And then the buses will move on to Little Prairie and drop off the kids at Little Prairie. So I'm looking forward to meeting you all next year. Have a good summer.
Now it's my turn, right? Hi, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Kane.
What? Turn it around? Okay.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Kane. I've got a couple more questions for you. Some of you asked where the third grade wing is. When you get dropped off on the bus, you'll enter door 9. Door 9 is, in fact, the third grade wing. We can go in there, maybe. In the third grade wing, you will find all of our classrooms.
We are the green wing.
In the green wing. You'll see right here that we have lockers this year, so third graders have lockers. You will all have your own locker with your name tag close to your teacher's door. It shouldn't be too hard to find anything because we go everywhere as a class and we find everything in our locker or in our cubbies in the classrooms.
Sure, this is Mrs. Kramer's classroom. Where are we at? Okay, the question is, what are the classes that we have to do in third grade? I'm assuming you mean in the classroom, so we do reading and math, science and social studies. We also go to Smart Lab, we go to art, music, and keyboarding, which might be new to you. You'll learn how to type on a Chromebook. The next question is, will I have to write cursive on the first day? No, you will not. You will get your own cursive workbook, and we'll wait a little while till we start that. And are there parties for Halloween, Valentine's Day, and other holidays? Yes. Woo-hoo. We will have a sign-up sheet on the Meet Your Teacher night, if we have that. And your parents can sign up for treats for all the different holidays. Will the school have a bell that tells you when to go to another class? No, there's no bells except for at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. So when it's your time to go to class, you will know it by the schedule that's hanging on your wall. Let's go into a classroom and see what it looks like. On this side of the hallway is Mrs. Kane's room, and I'm Mrs. Crackle. My room is right over here as well. And we'll take a look at Mr. Fitch's room on this side. In this classroom, we have tables like you are probably used to in second grade. We have book boxes and book bins to keep all of your supplies. We have a place to gather in the morning for mini lessons. We have a Chromebook cart right here.
that stores the Chromebooks and charges them up at night. This is a guided reading table. Mr. Fitch has a schedule somewhere. Oh, right up here. He'll put the schedule for the day. Mr. Fitch, can you add anything else that I might be
You're doing a
missing?
great job at the
Thank
pencil
you.
sharpener.
I'm so glad. All right. We can't wait to see you.
Okay.
Have a good
We're
summer.
excited to meet you
And we welcome you to 3rd grade.
and to Prairie View. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, soon to be 3rd graders. This is Miss Moss welcoming you to Prairie View. So, like Mrs. Homily, I'm your new school counselor at Prairie View. Just like Mrs. Homily, you'll see me in different ways. You'll be able to see me in classroom guidance, where I get to come into your classroom to teach lessons that are lots of fun and we can learn new skills together. We have some of the same things that you've learned at Little Prairie, such as, working with friends, problem solving, having a growth mindset, something we talk a lot about, and our zones of regulation. So in each classroom, you'll actually have your own space to use different coping strategies or tools to get to that green zone. So lots of you maybe already know this language. That is something you also have at Prairie View. You may also see me around the school store. So let me just stop and talk about that a little bit. Our school store is something that we started last year. And so when you are showing us that you're working really hard on our expectations at school, so similar to Little Prairie, we have practice safety, we have act responsibly, work hard, and show respect. Those are our 4 expectations. And when you show us that you are following those expectations and rules, you'll get tickets from different staff members to collect and take to the school store. So your hard work can pay off by saving those to get different items. So you might have some bouncy balls or books or different slime or eating lunch with the teacher. There's different things that come out, and our school store is usually about 2 times a month. And it's a time to just reward the hard work you've been doing. So that's something that might be new from Little Prairie. We also have our monthly assembly. So we focus on a characteristic trait for the month, and we also highlight the classes that have been showing those expectations from our specialist. So specialist teacher is, again, somebody who might be your art teacher, your music teacher, your Phy-Ed teacher, all of those people that are outside of those main classrooms that still want to recognize your hard work. So you actually get a trophy from those teachers, and that will go into your classroom, and you'll get that the whole month until we have our next assembly to change. Okay, so a little competition for the hard work that you've been showing off. So those might be something that is new at Prairie View. So you'll see me around there. And then, just like Mrs. Homily, my office is always open for you to come talk to me, whether that's with friends or by yourself, because I know that sometimes we just have bigger emotions that we need to talk about. So whether that's something that's happening at home or something with friends at school or siblings, you might just need somebody to talk about it with, and that is something that I can do to help. So some of the questions that I have received that I just want to talk about has to do with those friendships and, connecting to emotions too. So I know that sometimes change can be a little scary, and some of us might be feeling really excited right now. Like, yeah, it's a new school. I got new teachers. You've been listening to all of the cool things that we have here that might be different or the same, and it's exciting. But sometimes when you just aren't so sure what something is like, I bet you may feel like me sometimes where you get a little nervous, okay? So that's typical. That's normal, right? And you guys know those coping strategies or those tools that can help you get back to that green zone when you're feeling a little worried and nervous, right? So a lot of you are saying that you're a little nervous about the big change to this school, and you're wondering if some of your friends are going to be there. And the good news is yes. So you might have a bit of a change if you're having a different classroom setup. So you had your classroom in 2nd grade with the same friends, and now you're probably going to have a different mix in your classroom, which might have some of your friends and might not have some of your friends. But the good news is that at Prairie View, we all are inclusive, meaning we ask everybody to play. So at Little Prairie, you might have something called the Buddy Bench. That is at our school too, because you can't say you can't play, meaning everyone's included, okay? So it might be a little scary to think of who's in my class or where might my class be, but you're going to have some of the same friends in your class or in the same hall, or you'll get to see them at lunch or recess, okay? So it might be a little bit of a change, but a lot of times you'll hear it's not a big deal because I'll get to see them at different times of the day, or you get to play or sit by them at lunch, okay? So you might have some of the same friends in your class, and some might be new friends. So this is a time where you can actually explore some new friendships, okay? So I think that also kind of answers the question of, should I be nervous that kids will make fun of me and won't like me? I think we do a really, really nice job of being kind. You're going to notice that you're going to see lots of classmates and lots of friends around Prairie View, our staff members, so our different teachers, and just the kids around you being kind to one another, because we really find that's an important trait to have, and that if people aren't being kind, that's something that you can always talk to your teacher about, or me, or Mr. Wirtz, and we will help you problem solve. So I know that lots of you are really good problem solvers if something were to happen, but sometimes you need a little extra help, and that's why we're there too. Okay, so I know that you might be feeling a little nervous about this big change, but you're gonna love it, and we are so excited to meet you. I'm really excited to see you in guidance, and I'll be looking forward to meeting you at Meet the Teacher Night too. Okay, so look for me there, and why don't you share with me your name when I get to see you there and say hi. Okay, see you soon. Hope you learn lots about Prairie View, and we're looking forward to seeing you soon. Bye.
Hello, my name is Caleb. So today I'm a 5th grader here at Prairie View. Today I'm going to be telling you about how I felt when I transitioned from Dobeck to Prairie View. I know you guys are going from Little Prairie to Prairie View, though I went from Dobeck to Prairie View. So I have some questions that the teachers have asked me. So the people that assigned me this, I have my brother's also going into the 3rd grade. So he asked me some questions, and then I just have some stuff that you should maybe be aware with. So, first of all, how did I feel? It was a nice experience. It was my second school, because my first one was Dobeck. Felt really good to get to go to a new school. And I actually went to 2nd grade at Prairie View, because way back then, you went to 2nd grade in Prairie View in the ancient times. So, another question. Was the switch as big as a deal as I thought? No, it was actually not. Meet the Teacher Night was not that bad. And it turns out everybody was really nice. And as soon as you go there, you're there for about a week. Once you're there for about a week, you get to just be familiar with a lot of stuff. Alrighty. What helped the change was another question. Let's see. When I first went, my friends may not have been in my class. I may have had some friends in my class, but I make new friends every year, no matter, because my friends aren't in the same class, or we aren't in the same class every year. But what really helped is, if you're just a good student, don't do anything bad. Just be a good student. Listen to the teachers. Focus in class is another good thing to do. Focus in class is a good thing to do. Alrighty, what do I like or love about Prairie View? Well, my favorite special is keyboarding. I'll get to that later. I really like keyboarding. It's a special that we get. I also like Smart Lab, and I like our library. It's a very nice library. Alrighty, so some questions that my brother gave me. How many people are there? So like how many people, let's see, is there more students and teachers than Prairie View or Little Prairie? It's about the same, maybe even a little bit less, because Little Prairie also has 4K, unlike Prairie View. Prairie View only has 3 grades. Little Prairie has 4 grades. Yeah, but there may be more teachers because we have more specials. Alrighty. Let's see. How hard is it to remember where is where? So just to get the map of the school in your head. So it's really not that hard. It's not that complicated. I would say for me it's way more complicated for the middle school out of all 3 of them, because my dad teaches at the high school and I've been there a million times. I'm always at Little Prairie. And I went to Prairie View for 4 years. So, alrighty, another question. Or I didn't really answer the question. It was pretty easy to remember where is where. On Meet the Teacher night, you learn a lot of stuff, along with when you go to school for the first week. You learn everything else that you need to know. Alrighty. Is it modern? He asked. I'm sure people may want to know that. It's actually older than Little Prairie. Little Prairie was opened, or I don't know when it was opened, but I think on the building it says 2017 or 2018. Prairie View was built in the year 2000. So it's not as modern, though we have been getting upgrades, I would say. So in the cafeteria, the Smart Lab, the Innovation Lab, I'll get to that. So many things. We got, when I was in 3rd grade, so 2 years ago, they put carpet in a lot of the places. Alrighty, so the specials. We do not have all the same specials. I hear that you guys do not have Innovation Lab. You guys do not have keyboarding. I don't think you guys have keyboarding. For music, you guys still have Mrs. Trader, but in 4th and 5th grade, you guys will have a new music teacher. New gym teacher. There is something special in gym, but I'll get to that. Smart Lab is pretty much the same. Art, you guys will still have Miss Arpin. And library is different. It's a very big library. It's maybe even bigger than yours. I have no idea. Alrighty. The sizes of classes. So teacher to student ratio. 5th grade is a little bit different because there are 5 teachers in 5th grade. But in 3rd grade and 4th grade, I would say there's about 27 students in each class. Recess, lunch. So recess, we do not have the same playground as you guys at Little Prairie. There's not as much equipment here, though there is a lot more space here. So I would say that there is more space and the boundaries are bigger. Okay, gym. So you do have a new gym teacher, and there is a special unit that you guys do. Right after spring break, it is roller skating. Now, we aren't doing it this year because of this coronavirus thing, though you guys will get to do roller skating. Alrighty, let's see. Indoor recess. Some teachers do different things, so some teachers will let you do Chromebooks. Some teachers will just have you do games. Some teachers will just just put on a movie on the smartboard, and yeah, just do that. Let's see, the Smart Lab. We have a bigger Smart Lab. It's 2 classrooms combined into 1, and we have a bigger Smart Lab. Each little desk has a computer, and you'll probably be grouped up with 2, and then on the odd chance you might have 3 people in your group. Alrighty, Innovation Lab. So it's basically just another Smart Lab, except it's more tied into learning with other classes like science and social studies. keyboarding. This is where you're going to learn to type. So you'll be able to learn to type super fast. Maybe not as fast as me. I type like 70 words a minute, but pretty fast. Let's see, what else do we got? Okay, so another thing that you should be aware of, each year there is a volleyball game that goes on. I don't know if they're going to continue it. The third graders and fourth graders watch the volleyball game. The fifth graders play against the teachers, so your third grade teacher may be in the game. I don't know. Alrighty, so that is pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. So yeah. Something that I forgot to mention is that everybody gets their own Chromebooks. So you'll get them probably about first, second week of school in third grade.